All right, so the African Files Zone recently shared this, and it says, Nigeria has a budget of 36.7 billion for 2025. It has been tagged the budget of restoration. Nigeria's economy grew by 36.87% in the last quarter of 2024. Revenue increased to $14.46 billion from $8.256 billion. Hi, my name is Vidashi. Welcome to the African Time. We are actually discussing the African continent, and we are today discussing the Western African country, Nigeria. Well, Nigeria is said to have released their 2025 year budget, and it says to be around $36.7 billion. Well, the country has been estimated that Nigeria grew, the economy grew by 3.86% in the last quarter of 2024. Okay, and then it's believed that the revenue the country used or needs also increased from 14.46 billion out of 8.256 billion. Well, that is around $6 billion. Yeah. Nigeria is actually doing great, and they are saying that they have released their new budget for 2025, and they believe, or they are tagged the budget as year or budget of restoration. Yep. Nigeria is going to get great and greater, with greater heights. That is beautiful. Well, when this was shared, it was beautiful scenes, okay? But some people had some interesting comments at the comment section. Well, he says, this is the reason Nigerians collectively elected Tinubu. He is a performer. But someone replied to him and says, he's actually a tax collector. Tell us how he grew the revenue. Man increased electricity tariff, removed subsidy on everything including education, increased VAT and bank charges. In fact, he increased everything. Now inflation is at its highest. Why won't revenue increase? Well, that is some interesting comments from both Nigerians. And this is a two perspective though. One is believe that reason why Nigerians elected His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because man is a performer. But another Nigerian also came in and says, what are you even saying? Man increased almost everything. Electricity tariff, remove subsidy on almost everything, including education, increased VAT, bank charges. In fact, he increased everything. Now inflation is at its highest. What are you actually talking about? Well, Nigeria, your budgets of 2025, that is around $36.7 billion, is tagged as budget of restoration. Now, do you want to know why they are saying that? Well, see this. So by the Reuters on their page, they shared this on February 13, 2025. It says, Nigerian lawmakers passed increased budget of 36.6 billion for 2025. Let's dive inside. It says, Abuja, February 13, Reuters. Nigerian lawmakers approved a budget of 54.99 trillion naira, that is 36.6 billion for 2025, exceeding the proposal submitted by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the parliamentary speaker said on Thursday. Tinubu last week submitted a revised budget estimate of 54.2 trillion naira to the National Assembly due to additional earnings expected from revenue collection, including from the tax authority, customs, and other agencies. But lawmakers raised the amount again before granting their approval. Under Nigerian law, Parliament can increase or cut the government's spending plans. The budget will be sent to Tinubu to be signed into law. Nigeria made a provision of $200 million in the spending plan to fill gaps created by the United States suspension of aid to Nigeria's health sector. Tinubu, now in his second year in office, had vowed during his campaign to revive growth in Africa's most populous country, but strict reforms, including ending the petrol subsidy and currency devaluation, implemented shortly after he came to power, have driven up prices, triggering the cost of living crisis. Wow, so basically Nigeria budgets for 2025 was actually not supposed to be $36.6 billion. It was somewhere to be somewhere around 36 too, but somewhere 36.4 or something. But the lawmakers, actually, it says in the Nigerian law that the lawmakers have the right or power to increase or cut off budgets when it's being submitted to them. But this one, they believe that they increased with $200 million because of how the U.S. President, His Excellency Donald Trump, have been cutting off health issues or health sectors aids concerning not only Nigeria though, but to almost all countries around the globe, and also remove themselves from the United Nations, and how the US aids has all been stopped. Okay, so they believe that they need to capture back so that they can actually improve health and care. That is how come the budget increased like that. Well, let's dive inside more. Well, this one says inflation is expected to fall sharply to around 15% this year from a 3-decade high of 34.80%. In January, helped by lower fuel imports, Tinubu said in December, the government said that spending priorities in 2025 will include bolstering security, investing in infrastructure, and implementing measures to ease the impact of the rising living cost. The deficit is estimated to be 1.5% of the gross domestic product, or around 13 trillion naira. Okay, so that's basically how they means by the term restoration budget. So that is it. They believe that the president have actually said that this budget is going to make sure inflation turns low, security is being provided, and also they are going to boost infrastructure. So Nigeria is going to get back on its feet. Okay, that is what is all meant by the year or the budget of restoration. Hope you have understand this point. Yeah, then this is hope you have understand this point. Yeah. Well, this is African time. My name is Vidashi. We are discussing Africa. Okay. Well, how deep we are in right now? Let's see some comments and points of some Africans. This one says, all that profit to be pocketed and taken overseas to be shared with their own families, while their own people have to fend for themselves. That is how Nigerians believe. They believe that all these things they are saying may not be fruitful to the populace. Okay, but I believe in the government of Nigeria. I hope so. I believe that one day Africa can be great, and I know no government really want to see the people poor or want to see the downfall of people. Hopefully, Nigerian leaders prove you guys wrong and indeed turn things around. Hopefully, or happily, we all will enjoy a peaceful Africa and then a world prosperous Africa together, shall we? Well, that is something interesting for you guys. The name is Vidashi. This is the African Time. Thank you for your time.